watched this situation closely. And what I saw was this. The entire season, Doc Rivers, I don't know what he was doing behind closed doors, but the entire season, Doc Rivers was showing support, a great deal of support to this man the entire season. It wasn't until, right? So you got the support of your coach the entire season. At least we're seeing this in the mainstream media. You're the starting point guard on the best team in the East, record-wise. You are a defensive player of the year candidate. I actually thought he was my vote.
Which meant that he performed. Which meant that he performed well.
Exactly.
Up
to that point, he's performing well. Everything's cool. Mm-hmm. They get to the playoffs. They get past the Wizards, right? And then they're playing Atlanta. Let's just call a spade a spade. Ben Simmons did not show up in the playoffs. He did not have his playoff performance did not mirror what we saw from him in the regular season.
Okay. And that's happened before.
That's happened to many players.
Right.
They got bounced in the second round
against a good Atlanta team.
They got bounced in the second round against an Atlanta team that no one expected to get Philly out of the paint. I'm just being honest.
But look what they did even in the next round.
That's cool. To me, very flukish. You've seen that with this year. But I'm saying that happened.
It wasn't expected, no doubt.
That happened, and then the man was playing scared. And then we saw that once they lost to Atlanta, Doc Rivers did not. This was the first time that I saw Doc Rivers addressing the media. And when he had an opportunity to stand with his starting point guard, he didn't do that. So and that was on Doc. Right. And Doc tried to backtrack, which I'm like, bro, you can't really.
And some of the players didn't stand with him either.
Right, and then you start to see social media is killing him.
Right.
The Philly fans are killing him. Right, and then all of a sudden you're hearing these rumors that he wants out. So I just want to say, to me, it's not like a rocket science type of thing. Let's not ignore all. That's a lot of context you got to add to the situation before we just make this all about mental health. That's all I'm saying.
We're not making it all about mental health. But what we're telling
you, that whole press conference was about mental health, Dad. That whole press conference became about that.
Well, the thing is, he wasn't giving you certain information that we wanted to know about interaction with the players. He mentioned Tobias Harris. He mentioned some other guys that he had contact with, and these guys were happy that he was getting the help and moving on to a better situation.
They might have known some things.
The thing about that situation is once you get hurt behind some things with the organization and the players, the guys that you suit up with and that you want to have trust with, once that gets broken, you don't want to be there no more. Especially when it is with key individuals like, Embiid, because Embiid, I hate to say it, this dude has had negative interactions with other players that he's played against. So he comes across to me like a person that is not really a genuine friend.
Well, Drew, who just jumped in here, he alluded to that when we were talking on the phone earlier. He was saying that, it's not like a mystery that these two have kind of bumped heads along the way. Mm-hmm. Maybe not to this extent that we saw this past 6 months or so.
And and the thing is, he's not the whole blame why they lost that series either.
Absolutely
you know what I mean? But I think he got piled on him because of the missed shots and the missed opportunities he had to score.
And I can understand that affecting you. That would affect my mental.
Oh yeah,
I can understand. And Philly fans,
and that's why I said what should have happened is that's when the team should have come together,
galvanize around him more,
pull him up, lift him up, find out what's going on, so he can get his mind focused and get ready for the next season, because really, he's just signed a deal for 5 years, a year ago. So he still has about 3-4 years left on that deal. So you want to get the best out of the guy, but you don't want to pile up and be a part of the problem.
He agreed with you. Drew said, "You hit bingo, man. You hit it right on the head." He said he's not. He basically became an easy scapegoat. He believes Ben Simmons became the easy scapegoat. And we've said that. We've said that about Russell Westbrook, the Lakers. I think that. I do agree with that Ben Simmons did become the easy target there.
And we know how the Sixer fans are. They hard on you. And it's a known fact that they are. So that added to it, along with all the other noise around it, man. Anytime you're giving up money, and, obviously he had to get the help needed. Now, my question would be, did he get help prior to that incident? Was he getting help? But hey, that's confidentiality.
No, absolutely.
You don't have to share that information.
Absolutely,
with people.
But just spectators are going to have some of these questions. And the thing about it is, he did not suit up for Philly this year. We didn't see him on the bench. He wasn't coming to, from what we know, he wasn't coming to the facility, right? Mm-hmm. But right when he gets traded to Brooklyn, he's on the bench. Not necessarily the first game, but you saw him on the bench the other night. You know, he
can't stay home.
And
the dude's got to show up.
I get that, Dad. But I'm saying, I think this had more to do with the fact that and it's fine. It's fine for him to say this. I think it had more to do with the fact that he was just ready to leave Philly. He did not feel like it was going to be a good situation for him moving forward because of everything that transpired.
Well, it left a bad taste in his mouth, and he didn't want to have to go down that road again, probably. I mean, if you have a bad experience and it can't get patched up the right way, you just kind of going through the motions, man, and it's kind of fake and phony if you're in the locker room with guys that don't support you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the thing is, if you had a place where you could have come together and he could have talked with the team and y'all could have expressed some things and some challenges and, you know, they could have moved on beyond that. But that thing hung in the news for so long.
Right.
And then his agent didn't handle it the right way, I don't think.
Right.
Now, he might look good right now because he got him the way he needed to be. I don't know how the money was affected during that whole time, but I think ultimately...
Let me see something.
Yeah, go ahead.
John just said... No, that's not how the world works. Can you imagine telling your job you have mental health issues and just stay home? You're fired, bro. He said you need to seek therapy. See, this is the thing.
I'm only saying I don't know that he did not seek therapy. That's the only thing we don't know.
We don't know that. But here's the thing. Like you even said, and I'm glad John is chiming in. You even said, Pops, that you just kind of feel like he got to a point where he just wasn't. Because everything that was transpiring, he maybe wasn't in the mental space to want to be with that organization anymore.
Right.
I guess my thing is this: when you look at, and you come from a different era, a different generation, right? And one thing we don't want to do is we're not trying to refer to these players as soft and all that type of stuff. But I'm just saying it's obviously a different time. But I'm sure that with a lot of these players,
right?
We just who do we keep talking? Who have we been talking about the most lately? We've been talking about Russell Westbrook. Yeah, right. Can you imagine mentally what that man is dealing with? He's never been in a position
where you can see it.
But I'm saying,
it's right in front of us.
But he's shown. But I'm not trying to say that him and Ben Simmons are in the same predicament.
Well, you can't compare people.
I'm not trying to compare their mental and where their mental health is. But I'm just simply saying there's going to be people out there, Pops, that are saying there's a lot of players, man, who probably don't want to show up to work because of what they go. Kevin Love has talked about dealing with mental health issues. We, like you said, we've seen it in Russell Westbrook. Him looking,
I agree that was a mistake not showing up for work. Now you tried to force a trade, and it didn't happen as soon as they wanted it to happen. What did he say?
He said they soft. It's cool. He said. Everybody wants to jump ship when it gets tough. And you know what's interesting about what Jelani just said? We was talking about it, because Adam Silver, he was addressing it. Now, of course, he said he like you were saying, he was saying that he understands why these trades take place, but he was saying that he doesn't think that it's necessarily great for the game for big name players under contract who are under contract to request trades and want to sit out.
It's been going on. See, once they start allowing it, it's going to keep happening. Look at what Harden did. People don't talk about what Harden did.
We got to talk about him too, because
he forced himself out of Houston because of what? The team wasn't good. He wasn't happy because they weren't winning. Then he decides, I'm a party and I'm not going to be in shape, so they don't have a choice but to get rid of me. So different people have different approaches when they are unhappy with situations. But they ought to have something in place where you have a certain amount of time off to deal with these type of things, but you don't get paid, or you don't get paid a full salary.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say you don't get paid if you're dealing with a mental health issue.
I know, but I'm just saying.
You still get compensated.
You get compensated.